When the bacon is sizzling and the pan is hot, cooking with Stoney Stone, cooking up all that he's got. From the highway to the back road, he's cruising the mile. Driving with Stoney Stone, you'll be there in style. Out on the water where the big fish will bite, old farts fishing from morning till night. Check out all the catfish action with Catfish Wars. Need some great stories, he's got them to share. On his Fishing with Stoney Stone podcast, he's always right there. Oldfartsfishing.com is where you should go for the online store and the whole darn show. Real estate photography needs services for all your real estate photography needs. By Stoney's Photography. Don't hire a phony, hire a Stoney. Lots of availability. Next day turnaround, great quality, all quality, and reasonable rates. Order online at StoneysPhotography.net.
And we're on. Welcome back to another episode of Fishing with Stoney Stone. And I'm Stoney Stone, and I am solo today, but not totally solo. I'm solo in the event that I do not have my normal co-host, Darren, because he had something special going on tonight that he dropped on me. But I did manage to hook, I'm going to say hook, a big old fish. And I got B from Bede's Guide Service on. What's up,
I
buddy?
don't know about big, but
But you're here.
I'm here.
Yeah, so it's funny when Darren's like, I can't make it. Like, that's all right. I don't need you. I'm going to get me a new host. And so we had B scheduled as a guest, and we got him on, and here we are. So thank you for joining us, and we're going to get into our interview here in a second. But I do want to take care of some housekeeping things. A lot of you guys that follow us, we are now on Patreon. You saw a lot of our videos and clips and shorts out there about Patreon, but kind of a little bit of a story is we tried to get an OnlyFans account. Because we figured that's the only way we're going to make money, right?
Yeah.
And people laugh when you say OnlyFans. I'm like, Eric brought it to me. He's like, hey, let's do OnlyFans. I'm like, isn't that for girls with blonde hair and big boobs? I mean, they're not going to listen to a bunch of old farts out here talking about fishing. Right. And they rejected us like 3 times. They wanted more and more information. And the more information we gave them, the more they said no.
No.
Yeah, it was bad. So we ended up moving to Patreon. A lot of people don't even know what Patreon is. So, of course, to find the one thing out there that nobody knows about, Eric found. So, thank you, Eric. But we're going to get there. We're going to get to know him. But I did poke around on Patreon. It's kind of cool. It's just like Facebook and YouTube and all. It's just another platform. Like, we don't have enough.
Right.
But what's cool with this one is we can monetize it. And monetizing is how Eric gets paid.
There you
And
go.
if we're not monetizing, Eric doesn't get paid. And I can't keep just feeding him food. He's going to want some money at some point. No, but $3 a month. And you get access to the exclusive content, which is behind the scenes. Everybody knows we have a safety meeting before every show. And, if you know what a safety meeting is, you know what's really going on. But if you don't know, you got to become a Patreon member for your $3. You'll get access to all that cool footage. And basically, it's everything we talk about before the podcast. And a lot of the great conversation is there. Right. Not on the podcast. And then you have tips and tricks that we throw out there, things that we've learned. Could be fishing spots, could be something that we're sharing, but you got to pay for it.
Right.
We're gonna have drawings. That's the big thing. The biggest thing, if you want to become a member of the Old Farts Fishing Club through Patreon, is you get entered into our raffles or giveaways or however you want to, snagaways, as Matt from Snag 'em and Bag 'em tells me. It's a snagaway. So get involved in the snagaways. And every month we're going to basically give something away, whether it's a hat, whether it's a rod. And the more followers we get and more paid subscribers we get, the bigger the prizes we'll get. So stay tuned. Keep joining. I think we did this last week, Eric, and we got like 5 paid followers. Nice. So we're raking in the big buck. Not quite enough to get Eric, a lunch at McDonald's, but we're getting there. We're getting there. But yeah, Patreon is going to give you some cool stuff, and we're just going to keep growing and growing and growing. So we're excited to see where that goes. And so go there, check us out on Patreon. We also have our apparel that's online on oldfartsfishing.com, but we kind of made it a little bit different. As you just go type in shop.oldfartsfishing.com, it'll take you right to the store. So just shop Old Farts Fishing. And we sold a lot of merch in the last 2 weeks, since last Tuesday. And when we get into what's in the news, we'll tell you how that happened. But I want to give a shout out to our sponsors before we get to be Snag 'em and Bag 'em. Has been with me from the get go. Great sponsor. We run their products, especially when we're catfishing, striper fishing. They make custom leaders for all kinds of different things. Fish Kevin Brock, you all know it's my boy. We do a lot together. We have his podcast on Thursday nights that we host. Him and I host together, and definitely promote his rods and his products. And he just came out with his kokanee rods, and we just did the ISE show, and he blew out. I mean, I'm probably 1,000 rods. It was crazy. Wow. He ran out of kokanee rods, ran out a bunch of product. Hook 'em Big Rod with Daniel. Daniel's been with me from day one as well. If you're into catfishing and you want a great catfish rod, Daniel's got that. Amazing Fishing out of Lancaster with our Triple X Blood. We put that on a lot of stuff too. But Kevin's coming up. This is I cover everybody. This is what you need right here.
What is that?
This is Kick 'em a Pow.
Is that seasoning?
It's seasoning.
Okay.
For your catfish bait.
What?
It's a catfish cure. Here, hold on. This is a what? Hold on. You're a fisherman.
Smells like chicken liver.
I don't know. You tell me what that smells like. I love that face. You got to get that face.
I don't even know.
See? But we put this stuff on our catfish bait, cut bait, whatever, chicken liver. Well, we started doing it with chicken liver in beta testing. So what we did was we took some Kevin Brock's sardine brine, and I also took some of his roe brine, and we were using it on chicken liver and using it for catfish. So I'm like, Kevin, this stuff actually works. Let's actually create a catfish one. Yeah. And so he went this proprietary blend of all these amino acids and all kinds of stuff and packaged it up as Old Farts Fishing Catfish Cure, for bait. And it just, all it basically does is it's a cure. It just tightens up your bait.
Right.
So if you're fishing chicken livers or sardines that are getting a little soft or whatever, you put this stuff on there, it just tightens it up.
Are you brining it overnight or?
The chicken liver I'll brine for like 3 days.
Really?
And it'll just shrink them up a little bit, but you put them on your hook, they're not coming off.
Stays on.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And then with all the scent and everything in there, it definitely works. Darren used it the week before last, shark fishing. He says they were out there shark fishing. They weren't getting hit. It was a slow day. Nothing was happening. He's like, I got this Kick 'em and Pow. They put it on there. They started getting hit. So, it's a new product. It's coming out. We're running through the testing, and I'm convinced. It's all I can say is it's not hurting us. Let's put it that way. Is it helping? I don't know. Is it the Snag 'em and Bag 'em leaders? Obviously. Is it the Triple X? I mean, all these things work.
Right.
This is just another thing to add to your arsenal. I love it because it's catching fish for us. So, Johnson's Bait and Tackle. I love those guys. Again, those guys have sold me a lot of product. Especially when I started Old Farts Fishing when I didn't know anything, because I felt like they would sit in the store, see me pull up and go, oh, there's that Stoney dude. Let's see what we can sell him today. Because every time I would go in, I'd walk out with bags and stuff. And after this, I don't even know what it was or how to use it. But they said, well, what are you fishing for today? I'm like, oh, I'm going to go striper fish. Oh, you need this, 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 and this. And shit, I walk out and wasn't catching any fish. But now I know how to fish a little bit better than I did when I started. I met a lot of great people. So Johnson's Bait and Tackle, if you're in Yuba City, go give those guys a shout out and get in there. And then Champions, I'm just going to say Champions. My buddy Anthony Sparks runs a business out of Yuba City, Marysville area called Champions Carpet Cleaning and More, as well as Champions Cleaning Solutions. And soon a new venture he's breaking into the handyman world. Watch, we're working on that with him to launch his handyman service. That's going to be coming out. So another Champions product. And then, Darren's Mayhew Makers, they do custom fabrication for boats and anything you want. Anything you need metal fabricated, Darren will definitely take care of that. Give him a call. And his number's on the screen down there somewhere, but it pops up. But if you want to become a sponsor and you want to be part of the movement of the Fishing with Stoney Stone podcast, give me a call or a text at 408-889-3671. And we will get you on there. So with all that stuff out of the way, and B's like, man, this guy can talk.
That
And I go,
timing actually worked out really well because when you said it, that was actually on the ticker at the time.
see, perfect. See,
He
some
knows what
things.
he's doing.
Hey, sometimes it just happen and it works
Yeah.
smoothly. When you do this every single week, things just kind of flow. So be welcome as our guest. I know there's applause thing somewhere. Eric's got the little power to do all kinds of cool sound effects that we can't hear, but you guys will hear it out there.
All
whether
right,
it's
how's it going, guys?
Yep.
I'm a little camera shy.
He's a little camera. He
Yeah.
walked in the studio and went, "Holy crap! What did I get into?" Not
Yep.
only did he come into the tail of the safety meeting, but he's like, "What are you guys into?" But here we are, having a good time, and yeah, we love having you on the podcast. And so, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you from the river, from Clear Lake. I've seen you out there. We wave, when we're out there fishing, but I've never actually sat down and had a conversation with you. And I'm like, what better way than to do that than on the podcast? And so here you are. So tell us a little bit about you and what you do. And
A little about me. I part-time guide. I don't do it full time. I'm blue collar worker, and then I got into guiding in 2016. I had a good buddy of mine. His name is Bob. He's never worked a job in his life. Been a fishing guide.
Yeah.
Right. And I deckhanded him for years, and then one day he's like, "What are you doing with your life?" I'm graduated out of high school now. I'm like, "I don't know." He's like, "You want to do what I do?" I was like, "Yes."
yes,
And
who
he's like,
doesn't?
"Well, why aren't you doing it?" Right. And I'm like, "Cause I don't have a boat, Bob." And he's like, "All right, how much do you make a month?" I said, "Like $1,000 a month." He's like, "All right, 3 months, don't spend any money. We're gonna go look for a drift boat." So he took me out. We found a drift boat for like $2,400, 14-footer, right? And he dropped me off right here in the backyard at American River at sunrise. And he said, "I'll be back in 4 hours. Learn how to row." I was like,
Learn how to row.
okay. So rowing up river, rowing down, doing 360s. And ever since then, he's been sending me clients. And I did the drift boat thing for like 6 years. And then I bought a sled. And here we are now.
It's kind of funny because I talk about Kevin Brock a lot,
Yeah.
and I'm sure you know who Kevin is.
Yeah.
Legend out there on the river, and he started in a drift boat.
Yeah.
And if you follow the story with Kevin, and I'm going to tell you, is go to last Thursday's Fish Kevin Brock page on Facebook. We didn't do a live video. He was traveling, but I did post a video from a podcast that we had done back in May, and it's a story of how Kevin and I met and how we started working together. But it got into a really spiritual thing with him. As if you know Kevin, he's basically almost died. I mean,
Yeah.
he was basically on his way out, but he gets into a lot of detail of that experience and what motivates him and drives him. And you'll watch that thing and you'll be in tears by the end. I mean, I watched it, even though I posted it. I watched it as if it was live, and dude, I was in tears at the end. It was a podcast that I did, and I knew it was gonna. It's like watching a movie. You knew it was gonna happen, but you
Yeah.
still cried. It was
Right.
like, it's pretty moving. And yeah, that guy's a great guy, and I'll be just very happy to have him part of my life and
Heck yeah.
part of my fishing family. Because as you know, I've gone through a lot of fishing family, and
Yeah.
we've talked a little bit in the podcast. I'm looking at comments here, and there's a comment that kind of came up. I'll save that comment for a minute. I'm going to talk about that comment in a minute. But you do guiding. You start on a rope. You got a sled now.
Yeah.
And where are you fishing? What bodies of water?
Right now I'm fishing Clear Lake. I'm doing crappie.
Okay.
I've been fishing Clear Lake for 2 decades now. And
How old are you? I'm like,
I-
you look
I,
younger than my kids. I'm like,
I am 29 years old.
okay, so you are younger than my
I
kids.
am.
2 decades? My son just turned 33. My youngest son just turned 33. So
Do you know Fishing Addict?
fishing addict. I
Yeah.
believe so. I mean,
Okay.
there's so many people I know that I
Yeah.
don't know, but yeah.
He's my uncle and aunt, and they used to take me fishing all the time when I was kids, and we would go up to Clear Lake, and he's the best, in my opinion, the best crappie fisherman, and he taught me everything I knew. So I started guiding out of there, and I talked him into guiding, and now he's doing Clear Lake as well, but he only specializes in crappie. But
So Anthony, you've heard that. I know Anthony's on. Anthony's my fishing buddy, and we keep talking about every time we go to Clear Lake because we got started catfishing.
right,
Well, we talk about crappie.
Mhm.
We talk about bass.
yeah,
We go out there with every intention to do crappie and bass. We start catfishing and go, man, you're hooked on the catfishing,
Yeah.
but we need to get a crappie trip. I've got lots of people out there. Brandon LeBoy's talking about taking us out with Marlin. He was out there, and now we're knowing you do it too. So I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? We got to do a few trips here, but we definitely want to learn to do this crappie thing because
Yeah.
there's some slabs. We've seen some big crappie, and every time we try it, We go back to catfishing because we don't catch anything.
Clear Lake is a difficult lake to try to figure out sometimes because those fish can become very finicky. Like right now, water's cold.
Yeah.
They're grouped by football fields, right? And you can see them on the graph, but you have to be in the right depth and you have to work the jig, and it's got to be a perfect size or whatever. If it's too big, they won't like it. So my tips right now is I'm using small jigs, small heads. I'm running 2, and we get doubles every once in a while. But you got to get it down to where they're at, and right now they're anywhere from 20 to 40 feet down.
Yeah.
And you just got to stay in that column. And I always say shake the shit out of it, and then they'll bite it.
That's what they usually say. Shake the shit out of it, and usually they'll bite it. That's what we won't go there.
Yeah.
People that know where my brain's at. But yeah, so the crappie thing is so I said I wasn't going to bring this up, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. Do you have live scope?
I do.
He has live scope. And you like it?
Love it.
Okay, I'm just going to bring up one thing. What's your opinion of it in tournaments? Yes or no?
I say yes.
Okay. And that's a good, a lot of people have different opinions, and
Right.
it depends, whether you're bass fishing, crappie fishing, cat fishing, whether it's a hindrance or what have you. But, live scope was a hot topic at the end of last year. And
I don't do tournaments. I get where it's coming from,
Yep.
but my thing is the guys are already going to go to a certain spot. They're already planning on fishing that certain spot. That little thing just helps them see.
right.
But how can you really tell? I mean, how do you know it's not a catfish or a bass
Or a bass or
a carp, right?
Yeah.
You're working your best to catch it.
to catch something that's down the.
Right.
And I think just like our graphs, right? Our graphs, whether you're using side scan, down scan, or traditional sonar, you read those images and you do it long enough, you go and look at that and say that's most likely a catfish,
Right.
or that's a carp, or that's based on the signature that you're seeing. And I'm sure
Gotcha.
live scope's the same way. You're
Yep.
going to learn that. And what I've learned with it is that I think it would be more of a hindrance for me, only because I've seen and talked to a lot of people that are using it. And as I ask more questions and I, make my own determination of what I'm hearing,
Right.
is I feel like people make bad decisions when they have it, because they'll either stick in a spot longer than they should,
Right.
or they'll make decisions not off what they know about fishing, not off the structure, not off the wind, not off the birds. It's like they're looking at this little screen and
And-
they're making decisions on that.
100%.
And sometimes it's going to help you. Sometimes it's not. You're going to be
Right.
like overthinking it. And to me, it's like Eric has told me, or someone, I think it's Eric, said that you got to do the kiss method, right?
What's that?
Keep it simple, stupid. But
Oh.
in my case, it's keep it simple, stony.
Keep it simple, Stoney. There you go.
Why make it complicated? And
Yeah.
so we try to keep it, pretty simple, and using all these scents and things that may
There
or
you
may
go.
not work, but I don't know. We're going to keep it simple. But yeah, so you're doing a lot of crappie fishing. Assuming you do catfishing out there.
I do.
You do trips for catfishing?
I do combos. I just recently got into the catfishing thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you recently got into catfish. How recent?
About 2 years, 3 years
2
now.
years ago. So all that time at Clear Lake wasn't really a big
It was-
catfish.
No, it was just crappie, and then I'm starting to see that catfishing is starting to become something big.
It is.
And then I wanted to get into it and learn, so I did.
So that is a good segue into getting into it and learning, because I'm looking at comments here, and
Yeah.
I definitely see some comments where it says, "Yeah, buddy, Repo Man B in the house." So I'm like, Repo Man B. I gotta find out what the hell that means. But Repo. But then I also see comments that are like, B's the guy. If you're gonna go out there for crappie fishing, or you're a slayer. So you're definitely known
Yeah.
by our followers. And so what? Why are they calling you Repo Man? What happened there? You got anything you want to share on that?
Well, I have 2 sleds.
Okay.
One is a 21 footer, and then there's the one that I use. I won't say any names, but I got into a deal with a certain individual, and he told me he was going to make payments, and I'm one guy. I don't need 2 boats,
Right.
3 boats, whatever.
Well, we need 3 or 4, but
Yeah.
what you can do. Yeah,
What can I use one at a
Exactly.
time? I can only use one at a time. So pretty much we came up with a deal. I'm stupid. I didn't write a good contract, but it was good enough,
You
And
thought, yeah.
I thought it was good enough, right? Pretty much the contract states I am selling both boat and trailer to so and so, and he has 2 years to pay it in full. It didn't say he had to make monthly payments or anything like that. So he used that against me. But,
But you had an
Yeah.
expectation, a reasonable expectation that you were getting monthly payments.
right. He said he was going to make $1,000 a month. That didn't happen. Then he said he's going to make $500 a month. And 7.5 months he had my boat, and he made a total payment of $2,400.
That's it.
That's it. And then one thing that really ticked me off was I told him not to take the boat to the ocean. Right?
It's a sled. What are you taking a sled to the ocean?
Exactly. It's a river sled. And then he went like 5 miles out of Bodega Bay. I'm like, that's,
One is, I mean, I wouldn't do that in a sled. That's just me.
Yeah.
But, he is a captain, though, from what I understand. So maybe.
maybe he knows what he's doing, I guess.
But it's still, equipment-wise, it's
Right.
not the best thing
It's
to
not his property. It was mine, and he went
do. Right?
way beyond, And then I took it in my own hands and went and repoed it back.
And that's why they're calling you the repo
Yeah.
man on here. You just repo. You're like, I'm going to take my shit back.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into too much detail of what happened.
No, I
but
understand.
Yeah.
And I've heard some of the stories of what happened, and it was something definitely I wish we were filming Catfish Wars when that all came out, because it was definitely a Catfish Wars type of moment.
It was a hell of a day. Hell of a
That,
story.
yeah, it was definitely made for TV,
Yep.
if I would, or reality TV. Anthony wants to know about bass. Do you do a lot of bass fishing?
I do not.
He does not.
Yeah.
So,
Only stripers, that's it.
but at Clear Lake, you're not hitting the bass. It's just
No,
crappie and
just
now
crappie.
catfish.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got another person sucked into the catfish world. You went and you learned from the same guy that most everybody learns from.
Yeah.
But then you also learned what everybody else learns too, and we'll just leave it at that.
Yep.
It's definitely a learning experience. Let's put it that way. And we all have a story, right? We're fishermen. Sometimes our fishing is about, the fish. Sometimes it's about the fishermen.
Yep.
And people who catch the fish, and we all have those stories. And I've got my own stories of my journey through fishing and kind of the people that have come in and out of my experience in my life with it. And you definitely learn to you learn. I mean, that's the biggest
Yeah.
thing. We'll just leave it at that. You
I
learn.
learned.
You make, like my mom always said, make better choices. I know. I'm 58 years old, 59. I'm still trying to make better choices, but someday I'll figure it out. But we learn. That's the biggest thing is we
Yep.
learn. And then all of a sudden you're here on the podcast, and yeah.
Right on.
So cool. Anything else you want to add? The one thing is, how do we get a hold of you if we want to book a trip? I know you have a Facebook page, but what's the best way that you're going to respond?
The best way is just call me. I get too many text messages. I barely look through them, but to call me, that's the way I see it, and I'll call you right back.
And what's that number that you?
It is 916-289-0347.
There you go. So give him a call if you want to get out on some now at the Clear Lake for some catfishing or crappie trips. And now a lot of the guests we have on there is, I have a lot of sponsors. Is
Right.
we talked about Patreon and getting involved in giveaways and prizes. Would you like to offer something up on the Patreon to where if they mention that you were, hey, I saw you on the Fishing with Stoney Stone podcast, is there any benefit for them?
I'll give away 2 free trips.
2 free trips. Now that
Or
means
2
seats.
2 seats, sorry. I'll
2
give away
seats.
2 seats for the day.
And are you booking 6-packs, 4-packs?
6 packs.
So you book a 6-pack
Or
or
either or.
get on, but he's not giving away a free trip. He's giving you a discount basically.
Yeah,
for
pretty
6
much.
people, 2 people are going to go for free. But you've got to mention that you saw him on the Fishing with Stoney Stone podcast.
There you go.
And the biggest thing is, just because you're watching it live wherever it's streaming to right now, which we stream all over the place, not just Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, but the podcast itself, the audio part is streaming to Apple Podcasts, to Spotify, and probably 500 other places you listen to your podcast. So if you're looking for a fishing podcast, definitely go on there and type in Fishing with Stoney Stone. You'll find it. But you have to be a Patreon member.
Yep.
So pay the $3 a month, and we've got 5 people. I said I'm going to do a raffle at 10. But this is a special because you saw this is those Patreon members. There's only 5 of you
There you go.
that are going to get on this. So next week when we spin that little wheel, it's going to be whoever the members are. And so, we have a 2-seat trip with the Bees Guide Service, but you got to be a Patreon member to win. And there's only 5 people there. So
It's less than a cup of coffee. Just join it
Exactly, right? And it's once a month.
once a month.
And then the more followers we get, the bigger the prizes. You know, we're already starting with a 2 seats on a trip. That's a 5. What is it? How much you charge? 250? What's that range?
For my crappie trips, they're $200 a person.
So that's a $400 prize right there. If you basically say this, and whoever doesn't want, and we said if you say it, we're gonna change this up. I'm making this up as we go along. So
Okay.
here's the deal. He's offering 2 seats, right?
Yep.
But in order to get those 2 seats, it has to be one. So I will call him and let him know who won.
All right.
So we're gonna spin that wheel next week, and we might have a couple wheel spins next week because we're gonna have one for your trip, and then I've got a sponsor we're gonna get into here a little bit later that's going to give something away as well. So sponsors are already getting on board, saying, "Man, I want to be part of this," and they want to give stuff away, and so there you go. All right. Well, here's a point where we're almost halfway through. You have a choice. This is like we watch Let's Make a Deal in the morning with my wife while she's drinking coffee, and you have a choice. You can take curtain number 1 or curtain number 2, or you can stay here and listen to the rest of the podcast when we give fishing reports and some news and open some dialogue, or you can take door number 1 and you can go early.
I'll stick around.
He's going to stick around.
Yeah.
There you go. He's going to stick around till the end. That's a trooper. So anyway, with that said, do we want to play that? We're going to get to the segment of...
This
Hold
is
on,
Stoney
we got
Stone,
some
and
new
I'm
shit we're
calling
doing
it
here. There
fake
you go.
news. The media is twisting the facts. Don't believe the hype.
The fake news. This is what we're getting into now. Is we're gonna get some cool fancy graphics. We're starting out today, so these will get better. But we played around today and the fake news. So what's in the news? So I got a story. We got a little video we're gonna queue up here. It's about 4.5 minutes long. Gives me a time to get a little bit of a break. But watch this video. I got stopped on the freeway Tuesday. I was going into Yuba City, and this is a little bit of a story before we get into the video. Is I'm going down the freeway and there's this news truck that's just on my ass. I'm like, what is this guy's issue, right? It's just it's bumper to bumper, but he's like on my butt, and I'm like, okay, he doesn't want anybody, cut in or whatever the deal was.
Yeah.
Well, Rudy Devine, one of the guides out there with Rudy's trophy catches, my phone starts going off. He's texting me saying, you're on the news. I'm like, what are you talking? I'm on the news. And so I just see this truck. He's following me for a while. Then all of a sudden he's right next to me.
Oh.
And he's like, roll your window down. I roll the window down, and he's like giving me this little like camera thing. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you got my plate. And then he starts pointing to the side of the road. I'm like, all right, I guess I got time. I'll pull over.
Right.
So I pull over. He wanted to do a whole full-on interview. So as we're waiting to get our little segment, I'm calling my wife, DVR this, I'm going to be on the news. And, so she set it up, and here's the recording. We're going to play it right now, and check this out. Let's see. We're going to go here. Eric's doing little fancy things, and boom, there you go.
Make that transition.
Oh, mic's off. Cool. So it's basically the news I just put on there. Yeah. I'm talking about it. But what's kind of cool is when they did this part. He's following me. I don't even know what's going on at this point. I pull over, and I dubbed the two pieces together. But really cool. Pulls up on my list.
And I got your hat here. Old Farts Fishing hat. Website. Old Farts Fishing hat.
I'd be creepy here. That dude smelled. He smelled really, really good. He shook my hand. And, all right.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Didn't smell like an old fart. Dave Grassoff saw a window decal. Made him a little curious.
So perhaps illegally, he convinced the driver to pull over and explain everything behind the decal for the business and their website, oldfartsfishing.com. We're not kidding. This really happened.
Look what I was able to find. Creepy river guy pulling up next to the Old Fart Fishing right here. Stony Stone is his name.
Hey!
Stony Stone!
I was yelling at him to pull over. I'm like, I didn't cut anybody off, I swear. Thank you.
We're all getting a kick, and myself getting a kick out of the name. How'd you come up with the name of your company? Old Fart Fishing.
Well, so during COVID, when everything shut down, I'm a professional photographer doing a lot of things, everything shut down, and I started fishing. And I'm like, wow, this is kind of fun. And I started videotaping my fishing trips, and before you know it, Old Farts Fishing was born, and we're created, got a huge following. We have a YouTube channel, Facebook page, podcast that we do on Monday nights, and we support, our big thing that we like to do is support local small business. Not the big box stores, but if you're a small tackle shop, you're a fishing person that fishes and you have a small business, hit me up, we'll get you on the podcast, we promote, we do giveaways. And yeah, it's just all about the fishing community and getting things going. And
Watch out with you and go out with you some morning.
anytime you want, I've got a guide license. I'm limited on where I can guide based on what I have. I don't have a captain's license, but I know plenty of guides that I can get out with. Just a drop of a phone call, and I can get you on and
That sounds
go out
great.
there and do some fishing.
So how did you come up with that name?
It's funny. As I'm getting older, retired, I was in the garage and just found a rod and started fishing Ellis Lake there in Marysville. And just one day, I'm like, man, I'm kind of old. I mean, I'm sitting here fishing. I'm like, you know what? Old farts fishing kind of rings a little bit. And so, I got little kids we take out. I have a guide with NorCal Guides Association. We do a derby with them, and I have this little kid that comes out with us. And I got a video clip of him saying, you know what? You're never too old to be a young fart. And he's like 6 years old.
He'll
be there someday.
Well, Stoney, thanks. Thanks for pulling off. I didn't mean to scare you.
No, and I got you a hat here. Old Farts Fishing hat.
Oh, yay!
Website. Old Farts Fishing.
It's a beanie. That's fabulous.
Thank you very much.
There you go.
So two things. We need to get a siren for.
I'm an old fart, that's for sure.
We need to get a siren for Rover so Dave can pull people over. And secondly, Dave, can you ask him?
They're saying that I need to get a siren so I can pull people over.
Or some lights.
Lights?
Secondly, can you ask him what is Catfish Wars? I'm on their Facebook page. Is it a reality TV show?
What are Catfish Wars?
What is it?
Catfish Wars is a movie we're making.
Oh.
It's actually about our journey through catfishing. So how Old Farts Fishing started. It's a documentary. How we got into the catfish scene. We fished a tournament series at Clear Lake called Catfish Bash. So if you go on Facebook, you'll find them. They do 6 tournaments a year. The only catfish circuit in California. It's real big on the East Coast and Mississippi, Texas, all there, but nothing like this in California. We have a tournament coming up March 7th called the March Madness, and we have like 14 teams registered now, and it just hopefully we get to 40 teams. And
yeah. Well, I'm going to make sure that we'll stay in touch, and I'll book a trip with you. Wow, Stoney's got a lot going on. Very intriguing. And of course, the great name, Old Fart Fishing. So thank you, Stoney. Thanks for pulling over. Appreciate it. Good to meet you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Stoney Stone.
Stone.
It's Old Farts Fishing.
With an S.
If you go to Old Fart Fishing, there's no website.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
He was like that when I got him. I don't just. That's your friend.
Listen, I
Well,
just
there you
want
go.
to make sure
I think
people
we're
get
back
the web
and
traffic.
we're winding down.
But
We're
they-
still
yeah, we're still
playing.
okay.
And we're on, right?
Well,
There you
we
go.
got more
My
of that
5
coming up on the other side of the
minutes
break.
of fame. And what I thought my 5 minutes of fame while I was driving my truck was going to be some episode of Driving with Stoney Stone where we saw some big accident or something. So I have another page called Driving with Stoney Stone.
Okay.
And it's all dash cam footage. And that one actually makes money, believe it or not. We get monetized on that, but it's all, a combination of Eric's dash cam, my dash cam. I think Anthony has a dash cam. He sends me footage, and Darren's got a dash cam that sends me footage sometimes. But if you've got dash cam footage that you catch something crazy, send it to us. We'll put it on Driving with Stoney Stone. Give you definitely credit for submitting that. But yeah, we get some cool stuff out there. So in the news, 5 minutes of fame. There it is. And I didn't have to run anybody over. They tried running me over. It was a kind of a cool little ordeal. But thanks for Rudy Devine with Rudy's Trophy Catches basically texting me and saying, hey, you're on the news. And so in the news, Catfish Bash, May 7th is coming up. It's coming up quicker than you think. We've got 14 teams registered. And B should register as number 15. Enter the Catfish Bash. $150 gets you in. Split that with 2 guys, and man, I don't know. It's one day. It's a one-day tournament.
We'll see.
And get out there and do some catfishing and put your guide. There's a lot of guides that fish it. And it's funny, though. I see a lot of these guys fish it, and I look at where they finish, and I'm like, you would think they would be more at the top.
Right.
But because we run a series, it's sometimes they're at the top, sometimes they're not. So what I see is that you're a fisherman, and you can be the greatest fisherman. You can do a great business on it, and doesn't mean you're going to do great in a tournament.
Right.
The pressure in a tournament is totally different. I can imagine, and I've seen it a little bit when we've taken people out, is there's different pressure when you got clients on the boat and you're trying to get them on fish.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of guides because we film with a lot of different guides, and I see how different guides treat their clients. And I also see how they put their pressure on themselves.
Right.
Some of them go out there and have a blast, and some of them just they get you can see
Too
their
uptight. You
yeah.
just gotta have fun.
Because they want to get, they feel like I'm not doing a good job. I'm not getting the fish, and most people understand it's not always going to be hot, but they put this pressure on themselves, and so it's a different pressure.
One thing I do on my boat when we catfish is I run like a 2-foot mini rod. I run a bunch of them, and it's just action packed when you hook into like a 25-pound catfish on a 2-foot rod.
Yes.
They're having the time of their life, you know.
And that's the thing, right? It's you want to catch fish, but you want to have a good time. You
Right.
want to make it memorable.
Exactly.
And that's one thing that's a little shameless plug for my photography business. Is one of the things that we do is I always hate saying that do. It just sounds like I'm saying do, but it's not that. One thing that we offer is filming for guides. So you got a high-end client that says, "Hey, I want video of my day." I get video like Kevin, right? Kevin, we do a lot of video, but Kevin will not shoot his own video because he's dealing with the clients. He doesn't have time to do
Right.
that or edit or doing any of these stuff. That's where you call us. We arrange, we get a price, and your client's willing to pay for it. So it's just a service. You say, hey, I got a camera guy that can come out.
Right.
And we get on your boat and we film them. We stay out of the way. And sometimes they even put me to work to deckhand because I'm just standing there and they're like, hey, go help the guy. And I do enough fish and I actually will help. I'm not going to let, but we get involved and we'll capture it, put together a really cool video. And that's, what we advertise as a business is we do video. If you're a guide and you need a video done, don't worry about all that. Hire us. We'll take care of all of it. And we produce a really cool video for your clients to, whether it's your very first trip
Right.
or the last trip of your life, because whatever, we've done a few Make-A-Wish trips and we get it on video. So
There you go.
so a full service, anything fishing, but yeah, we want to see you in a tournament B.
Oh, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Johnson's Bait and Tackle at Striper Fest coming up on May 7th. Now, here's kind of the challenging part for me because Johnson's Bait and Tackle is a sponsor, and I usually help them with Striper Fest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's the same day as the Catfish Bash. So if I'm even fishing, there are people that know as I'm going out on back surgery here soon, just waiting for a Kaiser strike to be over and figure out when they're going to get me scheduled. But that's going to put me down for probably 6 months. But Striper Fest versus Catfish Bash, if I'm available, I'm going to Catfish Bash. I have to. I have a fishing team, a new team, the Channel Cat crew.
There you go.
So we were the Old Farts Fishing last year, and then Darren and I and Anthony joined teams and created a brand new team this year. And, we did all right. We didn't finish as high as we'd like, but we're definitely chasing those points, and we'll see what happens. But May 17th, you got Johnson's Bait and Tackle Striper Fest. You got Catfish Bash. April 25th and 26th, you've got the Channel Cat Classic. Richard Moutry putting on a 2-day tournament. We have not had a 2-day tournament on Clear Lake in a year.
Wow.
So the year before, so 2024, we had the Catfish Rodeo doing things. You had the Kings of Clear Lake doing things. So those were the two big 2-day tournaments. And then you got Jake doing all of his bashes that we do 6 times a year. So a lot of catfish things going on. So last year, Jake was the only person on the field other than the Derby. The Derby happens, for 34 years or something.
Gotcha.
And it's a Derby. It's not at all like a tournament. It's something that's totally different. Yeah, there's some money to be won, but it's not like a traditional catfish tournament that we're all fishing in. But it's going to be interesting this year. You got Richard doing his thing on April 25th and 26th. First year coming out with the Channel Cat Classic, and a lot of guys are supporting that. And if I'm able to fish, we'll be supporting that as well. But if I'm not there,
out there, then
you should. That's going to be that's a good one. And what I like to say is that if you're fishing the Channel Cat Classic, you should be fishing the Bash because the Bash is good practice for a 2-day tournament because you're going to feel that pressure. You're going to feel what it's like in a small taste, and that was what the whole bash was about when it started, was to get people into catfishing, have fun, have a 1-day tournament, kind of get the feel of the ropes. And you had 2 other tournaments during the year that people could go fish. Well, when those disappeared, there was nothing for them to practice for, so our attendance kind of went up and we got a lot of participants. But now, with Richard coming in, we want to feed that as much as we can and have these guys that have been fishing the bash go experience a 2-day tournament. And you're going to have a blast. It's fun in those 2-day tournaments. Because one day you'll do good, and then the next day you won't, or vice versa, or you suck the whole time. I don't know, but it's a blast. You're going to meet a lot of great people. So you got that going on. You got Bow Fishing Blitz 51-hour shootout April 17th to April 19th on Clear Lake.
wow.
So that's bow fishing. So Tule Creek, guide serve. What is it? I always mess up their name. Tule Creek Outfitters. So those guys are running that, and he's another guide out at Clear Lake, Brandon LeBoy.
Okay.
And they do a lot of stuff. He's going to be a guest on here soon, promoting his event.
Brian's a good buddy of mine.
Yeah, so Brandon, we love Brandon. We back to talked several times today, and so we got some things going on with him, and I got some footage we'll be putting onto the podcast that he sent me to help him promote his event.
Do you know what Johnson's Bait and Tackle is doing right now? If you go in there and you spend $20, they give you a raffle ticket.
Yes, for Striper Fest.
Yep.
In fact, I owe Brian a call with Striper Fest coming up. I'm going to try to get them to sweeten the deal. Not only if you go in there and get a raffle ticket and they put it into Striper Fest, it's going to be something if you mention that you saw them on Old Farts Fishing or Fishing with Stoney Stone, they might be able to sweeten that deal. Maybe you'll get another raffle ticket. You'll get two.
Yeah.
But I am trying to get them to donate something for the Patreon members and get something in there as well. So very cool. So let me see what else is in the news. Man, we had a lot. Oh, so the big thing is I've been noticing a lot of guides are ramping up for striper season. So when is striper season officially starts? Around April, I'm assuming, is when people really start fishing striper.
For me, it will be March.
March.
I'll go to the Delta. So right now I'm doing crappie and catfish, and then March comes around, I go fish the Delta, like San Joaquin or West Bank and all that, and then I'll slowly follow them back up into the Sacramento River.
Yep.
Yeah.
So guides are so you're starting to do that migration. There's a lot of guides that stay on the river. There's some that transition back and forth, but Rod Stoddard, we do a lot with Rob. He's starting to ramp up and starting to book trips. Kevin Brock, he does all this stuff. He's definitely a Feather River, Yuba River, not Yuba, but Sacramento River guide, and he's going to be doing some striper trips. I don't know if he's going to the Delta this year. Last year he did go to the Delta for a little bit. Thing with Kevin is he follows the fish. He'll go spend, like during the salmon season, he'll go to Oregon for Gold Beach for a month and a half, and he just takes a whole camp. And they call it salmon camp or striper camp. Striper season, they take a trailer and they just camp there in Calusa, and you go there. There's probably 10 guide boats during striper season. They're all camped. They call it striper camp. It's kind of a cool little deal. So yeah, everybody's getting rocking and rolling. Devin Lake, D Lakes Guide Service. He's a pretty young kid. Just started. I don't know if you knew Devin from D Lakes. Yeah. He's getting out there, and he's got some advertising that he's given me, but he's got some stuff coming up with trips, and I think he's going to be giving away some cool little prizes for us as well. And Brandon's correcting me, Tule Creek Hunting Outfitters. Get it right, Stoney. I mess it up every time. I think it's to a point now where I just mess it up just to piss him off.
With him.
It's just, subliminal. I can't even say that word. It's subliminal. But yeah, it's not on purpose.
Right.
It's just embedded now. I can't fix it. So there's kind of the lowdown of what's in the news, which then is going to lead me to our next segment. We got a cool little graphic. We're going to see if I can get my producer to throw that up, as we got new things. But let's see what this one does.
Weekly fishing reports from local guides. Brought to you by Stoney Stone and Old Farts Fishing.
There you go. Fishing reports.
Nice. Oh, careful, careful.
Oh, so we got these chairs from Richard that tip over really easy because it's missing a foot. He says there was a foot on there when he gave it to me, but it's missing a foot. But fishing reports. So I have guides that will send me fishing reports on Monday. So I have something to talk about that's a little more meaningful than the stuff we talk about. But first on the docket with fishing reports is Golden State Sport Fishing. They're fishing the Delta right now. Captain Joe Gamez. We go out with Golden State Sport Fishing quite a bit. He's one of the OG guys that we've got tons of videos on Old Farts Fishing on YouTube of Golden State. And if you ever been out with them, his thing is real, real, real.
Yeah.
And a few other choice words he likes to call me when we're on the boat. Choo-choo. Yeah. Yep, but sturgeon fishing has remained robust over the past week with double-digit catches. So if you've seen his videos, he's not lying. I see those live videos he's doing. They experienced some challenges on Sunday due to the fish feeding at night. There was a nice bright moon Saturday and Sunday. So Saturday night I was out taking the garbage and I didn't go fishing, and I thought Anthony was, and I'm looking at the moon going, yep, Anthony's going to not catch any fish. And he didn't catch any fish because he didn't go. But it was a nice full moon. So yeah, it slowed things down a little bit. Favorable tides this week should yield excellent fishing results. The water temperature continues to rise. Currently at 52 degrees. Striper fishing has also been picking up for bait soakers. Used with catches reaching up to 15 pounds. 15 pounds already. Areas, Honker Bay, Chain Island, the Fleet. Effective baits include eel, roe, and shad. So that's coming from Joey. Definitely a knowledgeable guide out on the Delta. We've gone with him quite a bit. And yeah, there's a thing that Kevin says about if it's 48, is it 48? Use bait, or he has some little rhyme. I always forget it, but there's a time where you go from bait to lures,
Right.
and it has to do with the water temperature. And right now with that water temperature, Joey's saying, well, you should be soaking bait right now.
Yep.
So that's what they do. So Tule Creek Hunting Outfitters. Make sure you get that right, Stoney. I had to put this on correctly. Brandon LeBoy. Oh, and if you want to get with Joey, we got to give a shout. Here's his phone number. If you want to book Golden State for sturgeon striper, find out what he's running, because they do run a lot of different. They use shark trips, all kinds of things at certain times of the year. But 209-855-1487. Give Joey a call and get on with those guys. But Tule Creek Hunting Outfitters, Brandon LeBoy, he gave us a fishing report, and if you want to go out with him, and they're fishing at a Clear Lake right now, it's 707-533-9269. And I asked Brandon, I said, hey buddy, send me a fishing report. This guy wrote me a book. I was like, I think he thought he was doing a book report. I said, no, fishing report, not a book report. He wrote long, so I'm trying to see how much of this I'm actually going to read. The fishing activity at Clear Lake is currently exceptional across all species: bass, crappie, catfish. High levels of activity. Let me see. Reports of anglers of 200 crappie per day.
That would be me.
There you go. On multiple occasions. And 10 plus pound bass coming out left and right. So deep water still, pockets abundant with bait fish. Catfish population is robust. As you guys all know, the catfish in there is on fire right now. It usually picks up catfish wise, I would say, get into those colder months. So going into November, December, January, February, those are where we start seeing the record, big old fish.
Yeah.
So catfish is a healthy species. Kevin with Hooked on Kevin's Guide recently, and I saw the photos, assisted clients in landing a 31-pound catfish.
That's a big fish.
I saw that fish and went, that's not 31 pounds. That's like 40 pounds. That thing looked gigantic, but 31 pounds, it was big. And we caught a 30-pounder not too long ago, about 3-4 weeks ago, right before the tournament. We had a 30-pounder, and it was big. I'm like, this is a 40. We were all excited. Yeah. We're like, 30 pounds? But it was a big fish. So 31 pounds, the numbers keep going up. Our last tournament, the big fish winner was 30 pounds.
Wow.
So the fish are getting bigger, and those are the ones being caught.
Yeah. You don't know what's down there. It could be 40 or...
That's not being caught.
Yeah.
That's not chasing the bait. That, you just haven't found him. You haven't put it in front of his lazy butt. He's all fat for a reason. He's not chasing. So let me see. Combined of a total of 74 pounds for their largest catfish of the day on Hooked with Kevin. So if they were tournament fishing, 74 pounds would be a record.
Yeah.
I think we I don't know if we broke... You remember, did we break 70 pounds? Or it was like...
71.
71 was a total. In this last tournament, 71-pound bag limit. And so they would have won that and came in first place if they were tournament. Let me see here. Catfish charters are exclusive, utilizing Snag 'em and Bag 'em custom whisker whips, which we definitely use those too when we're catfishing. Let me see. The goldfish and gizzard shad colors have proven most effective, outperforming other options when paired with chicken, salmon, shrimp, live minnows, as well as the Tule Creek Custom Salmon Series float. And it doesn't say Hunters in there, so don't yell at me. I didn't put it in there. I just read it as what you wrote it. Tule Creek Custom Salmon Series floats. Snag 'em's new Whiskledon. Whiskledon? Oh, I don't know if this. What does that look like to you? Yeah, exactly.
Whiskledon.
Whiskledon. Whiskledon.
Whiskledon.
Lure has also experienced significant success, and they're also in the available colors, especially with ran into high, low performing, as well as the carp and realistic crappie patterns. So the Megalodon, I'm believing that's a big old float. So it's probably going to be able to handle heavier weights, bigger chunks of weight, because they're calling it Megalodon.
Okay.
So it's probably a big float, big fat one.
Gotcha.
He's telling you to locate the schools in deep water, especially in depths of 30 to 50 feet. Wow. Agree with that? Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
and capitalize on their activity. The period represents our preferred time of year for targeting large Clear Lake channel catfish, which is absolutely true. You guys that are fishing the catfish world definitely know that this is the time of the year to do it. We talked about the bow fishing blitz that's coming up. We're going to have Brandon on as a guest to deep dive into that. Let's move to the ocean here. You got Real Addiction, Captain Ben out there. If you're looking to do an ocean trip with Ben, he's running a couple boats, 925-812-4047. They say they'll be doing sturgeon starting February 15th through March. And they're doing halibut trolling in March and May. And then they're doing live halibut bait trips in May and July. Rockfish and link cod July and October. And albacore and bluefin tuna August through September. And then the king salmon dates have not been announced yet, but we are looking to get some if those times progress. Let's see what else he got. Crab and rockfish combos November and December. And he's telling you, we recommend you do one of each throughout the year to get the whole experience they have to offer. They've got some beautiful boats that they run.
Yeah, they do.
Some big boats look like they'd be comfortable. So definitely get a hold of those guys at Real Addiction. A great bunch of guys. And so next one is Big Nate's Guide Service. So Nate is usually giving us a report out of Berryessa. And last week I didn't get a report, and I'm like, man, I'm not getting any love. What's up with that?
Probably out fishing.
Well, texted him again and said, hey, am I getting a fishing report today? He says, hey, got nothing. I'm like, what? He's all, haven't been out in 2 weeks. Waiting for the new boat to be ready. So, new boat. So, well, you got to see what that's about and see if we can get him on. But it looks like he's got a new boat coming.
Okay.
And any day now. So, we'll start getting some new reports from Big Nate. But he usually gives us a Berryessa report on what's going on there. Kyle Weiss, Headhunter Sport Fishing out of New Maloney's. If you're looking to do New Maloney's, 209-531-3966. Get on with Kyle Weiss. Lots of action in the top 20 feet, pulling Papa G spoons with teaspoons, pulled at 2.5 to 3 miles an hour. Rolling shad down to 80 feet, chasing bait balls, produces some of the bigger fish and brown trout. So that's it. So, Brandon, see how short Kyle's was? I said, give me a fishing report, not a book report.
A whole essay.
He's all, I'm going to give an essay to the essay. There we go.
But also, what the fuck did he just say?
I don't know. Big old 8-incher. I don't know what he's. I don't.
Papa G spoons with the teaspoons pulled to the 2.5.
Oh, let's all fish talk,
6,
Mr.
9,
Producer.
I don't know.
What?
Yeah. Well, so Eric's not a fisherman, so he starts seeing Papa G spoons and teaspoons.
Oh,
He's like, "What are you guys talking about?"
Yeah,
No,
no
we're
worries.
still talking fishing.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we didn't flip the script. But I'm still wondering about Brandon's talking about 8 inches, and that ain't gonna work, dude. I'm telling you, you're gonna need more than that. One more fishing report that didn't get it in time before I went to print was one from Kevin Brock. So fishing report for the let me see, Feather River still producing nice stillhead up to 5 pounds. Night crawlers and little Cleos, silver and blue, seem to be the best. Fly fishermen are catching fish with egg patterns and olive nymphs. Is it nymphs? N-Y, nymphs? Nymphs. I didn't see an O at the end, so it was just nymphs, not nymphos. Lake Orville, great for spotted bass. Slow trolling for salmon. Let me see. I'm fishing at Lake Mackay in Idaho. So Kevin took off. So Kevin was in Texas, and that's why he wasn't on Thursday's podcast. We were going to film something on Friday, and he says, I'm on my way to Idaho. So he went from Texas, and now he's in Idaho fishing Lake Mackay. For kokanee has been very good, 15 inches with corn and small green jigs. And corn, he's probably using this kokanee corn
Nice.
that Warren Fredrickson makes. So Kevin bottled it, they've labeled it, and if you're into kokanee fishing, you definitely want to get that kokanee corn. Stripers in the Sac River, good on glide baits. Top Waters has been producing nice fish, very clean. Knight's Landing to Chico. So sounds like the water might be cleaning up a little bit. I know it's been pretty brown, stained, and what have you. So there is like everything. We're at the top of the hour. Did Matt ever call into this thing or no? Snag him. You didn't see him, and then maybe I didn't send him a link. But Matt is definitely going to get on here probably next week. We got a giveaway we're doing with Snag 'em and Bag 'em. and I will be getting that footage going, and we will get some of that products with that. Let's see. Jake Lee. Do you know Jake Lee?
Yes.
So he just says B, 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 B. That just...
He's a funny guy.
I don't know if he just stutters or what. Dave Mayo got on. I'm looking at comments. Kevin Williams. Kevin never gets on. That's awesome. Yes, Whiskladonna is the right word. So anybody knows I mispronounce, misspell, do all kinds of things all the time. Let me see. Kevin's talking about that 31 and 223s plus change. So 223s.
Wow.
I think I got 123 the last tournament, and that was our biggest fish. Everything up below that was 18.
Last weekend I had a 26, a 24, and a 21, and a couple 10s and 12s.
And where were you? Specifically? No.
Over by Highway 20.
Over by Highway 20. Somewhere along that Highway 20. Yeah. Just somewhere along there.
Yeah.
No, we had a lot. It's funny is we have a lot of spots out there that we like to hit, and we
catfish are everywhere.
And that's the thing, right? We go out and find new spots. We always find new spots. What I'm still trying to find is where you can consistently get 30 plus fish.
Yeah.
And we haven't found that yet. We found, there's pockets where you're going to get, 40 fish and they're all going to be 15, 16 pounds. You're going to get places where they're more 18 to 23 pounds, and just finding those spots where those big ones are hanging out. And it's just, are they going to be deep? Are they going to be shallow? Are they going to be moving? Are they going to be deep during the day and shallow, towards the early morning when they're feeding, or nighttime when they're feeding? Are they moving that much? I don't know.
I don't either.
100 people, you're going to get 100 different answers.
Exactly.
I have no idea either.
That's why we troll and we drag bait and cover ground and try to catch them.
Yep. I've been seeing this new lure or float on the market. It's probably not new, but it's a company called Fat Cat. And they got a big old bobber. It's a big old white bobber. And their design, I guess, is they're saying like in the river. And I'm thinking about getting one of these because I know there's some big catfish in the river.
Yeah.
We don't catch a lot of big catfish with the way we're fishing for them. But the cool thing with this is they say you just throw it out and you just let it go downriver. And you just follow, and then after a while you can bring it back in. He says, but on that downriver drift, they're going to hit it. He says those big catfish in the river. Now it's not a California river.
Right.
You're just saying river. It's probably Mississippi or Missouri or somewhere out there. But I'm thinking channel cats, river, should all be the same.
Right.
They're saying that those fish, you got to read the water, see where they're stacked up. But the fish aren't chasing bait. They're sitting there in the current of the river, just swimming, and they're staying in place. And the bait comes to them. So that bobber setup is you're just letting it drift to get that bait to come to them. Gotcha. But you got to read the water to find the snags, find the places where you feel those catfish are going to be. Let the bait come to them because they're not going to come look for the bait. They're not going to swim upriver to find if they're not there, they're not there.
It's almost like floating roe for salmon on a bobber.
Right.
Yeah.
So doing it with catfish. So I'm tempted to buy one of those. Maybe I'll get them on the podcast and they'll give it to me for free to test it. But I want to test it here in California on the river because we definitely catch a ton of catfish when we're striper fishing.
Yes, we do.
But I don't catch a lot of big catfish. I get a lot of shaker catfish. And, I think I've only caught one 12-pound catfish on the river. But not like Clear Lake where I'm going to go out there and target it and pull in, 20, 30 catfish. And I'm like, I want to do that on the river. I'd love to be able to see that happen, but hasn't happened yet.
Just got to spend time on the water.
Got to spend time. That's the thing, right? That's the trick. You're going to close this out perfectly. Spend time on the water. And that's the secret to all of this, because you're going to have a good day, you're going to have a bad day. But if you're a weekend warrior like I typically am, is every Sunday we're out there, praising the Lord or doing whatever we're doing out there and fishing and giving our homage to nature. And we, some days it's good, sometimes it's bad. But if I'm out there every day, my chances of being good are going to be that much better.
Yep.
So let me look at my notes here. Look at the producer. I think I went through everything. I don't know how much I missed, but we're good. We have a lot of sponsors we mentioned at the beginning of the podcast. We had a lot of credits we want to start giving to different production people. Eric, I got to give Eric some love every once in a while. He's the man behind the scenes that tries to stay awake after I ramble. But Eric is definitely with Time Hatter Productions. He runs his own production business, but he's one of the credits to this. And my business with real estate photography services and what we do, and Blue Dream Productions and all those things is what makes this happen. And we'd love to have you on the credit list. And to get on that list is being a sponsor. help us out. We help you out. We promote. And Snag'em's going to be on here next week. And I'm going to be reaching out to a lot of my sponsors to start getting them scheduled for this year. Yes.
Hype that up.
Hype that up. Get on.
Like, Matt has a big giveaway on next Monday.
So Matt has a big giveaway. Did he put that in there or no? I know he's got a big giveaway. He's got something being released, some new release coming out that Matt has, and I thought he was going to call in. I don't know what happened. But we were going to definitely get him on the air. So
Still a big surprise. Now it's just a surprise.
Now it's just a surprise.
Release.
New release, and I will talk to Matt tomorrow and find out what's going on with that, but we definitely want to plug that, find out what's going on. The cool thing with Matt is if you go to snag'emandbag'em.com and you put in promo code Stoney Stone or in the comments that you saw the podcast, and they're going to give you a 15% discount on your orders. So, and Kevin Brock, if you go to fishkevinbrock.com and put in the comments on your orders that you saw, any of the podcasts, where it's the Fish Kevin Brock podcast, the Stoney Stone podcast, he will throw something in special as well, which usually means there's a 2-for-1 offer of some sort, swim baits, jigs, whatever it is. He sweetens the deal up, and Kevin's one that gives back. So I can't promise you what he's going to give you, but he's going to give you something. And with all the guides ramping up, I'm sure we're going to have some more guide trips to give away. Hopefully full trips, as well as some discounted seats coming out. But you definitely have to be a member on Patreon to be eligible for those giveaways. So that pretty much puts us at the top of the hour. Darren, I missed you, but I got somebody better looking than you, and he probably has cuter feet, so we'll see what happens with that. Look, the socks only. We're joking with Darren. Since OnlyFans rejected us, we were going to do a exclusive Patreon account where you pay like $10 more not to see Darren's feet.
Oh. He just sits up here with his foot on
That's
the table
it.
the whole time.
Or we're going to put a camera down there and, they'll say, what do you want to see Darren's feet squishing today? It could be Jell-O, pudding, whatever. But we'll end on that. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you guys next week, and peace out.